आगे।
ये नहीं खत्म हो सकता है कि सिर्फ मेरा रहे और बाकी ये सब कवर भी कर। हाँ ठीक है।
ये वाली बात को
हाँ
नेट चला जाएगा, प्रोग्राम बंद कर देंगे, स्टार्ट कीजिएगा।
Hello students, how are you? So today's topic is acute leukemias. Remember acute leukemias, these are very important. They are also asked in your OSPE and then also in your examination. So let's start what are acute leukemias. Acute leukemias, they are a heterogeneous group of malignant disorders which are characterized by the uncontrolled clonal proliferation and accumulation of poorly differentiated blast cells in the bone marrow and other tissues. So this is the definition of acute leukemias. You can also be asked in your viva, what are acute leukemias? Basically, what are acute leukemias? So you should know these are malignant disorders which are characterized by the uncontrolled. These are not controlled. These are uncontrolled clonal proliferation. It means there is uncontrolled proliferation of cells. And when there is a increased proliferation of cells, obviously these cells, they accumulate in immature form. In these immature form, these are called blast cells, and they will accumulate. Obviously, they are producing in the bone marrow, so they will accumulate in the bone marrow, and also they will come into the peripheral blood. So, thus replacement of normal bone marrow elements with abnormal blood cells. So these leukemic cells, these are frequently but not always present in the peripheral blood smear. But a small quantity, it is present, always present in the blood stream, but mainly they are present in the bone marrow. Subsequently, there is a raised total blood count and evidence of bone marrow failure. Okay, you will be thinking how bone marrow is failure. Bone marrow, what's the meaning of bone marrow failure? Bone marrow failure, it means bone marrow is not producing normal cells. Normal cells, it means that hemoglobin is not normal. It will be decreased and it will be presented in the form of anemia. So you should know there are three basic cells in when you examine a peripheral blood. These are red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. So if in case of bone marrow failure, you will see anemia. It means the red blood cell count will be below normal, and there will be neutropenia. Neutropenia means that cells, they will be neutropenia means this WBCs, they will not be in immature form. They will be in immature form, they will be present, but we will call it neutropenia. It means mature WBCs, they are not present in the peripheral blood smear. And the third term we use, that is thrombocytopenia. Thrombocytopenia means decreased platelet count. Obviously, so why there is a bone marrow failure? Because there is uncontrolled clonal proliferation of abnormal cells. And it will be presented in the peripheral blood smear or in the complete blood count. We will see there will be raised WBC count, but these WBC cells, they will not be normal. They will be in immature form. So what will do? It will suppress all the other cell lines, especially red blood cells and platelets, and neutropenia will also be. So in the acute leukemia, the blasts commonly invade reticuloendothelial tissues, including the spleen, liver, and lymph nodes. They may also invade other tissues, infiltrating any organ of the body. If left untreated, if we don't treat this leukemia, so leukemia eventually causes death. So first of all, you should know the classification of leukemia. Mainly we divide the leukemias in two classes. First is chronic leukemia and second is acute leukemia. Chronic leukemias we further divided in lymphoid and in myeloid. Okay, and we will call it CLL as a short abbreviation and CML. But while acute leukemias we also divided into cell lines. These are lymphoid and myeloid. So in lymphoid, further according to the FAB classification, we classified according to the lymphoid. We use the sign L1, L2, and L3. While for myeloid series, we use the word AML, and for lymphoid ke liye and for acute leukemias, we use the term ALL. So in myeloid, we will further divide it into M0, M1, M2, M3, and 4 to the M7. Okay, so this is the Fabry classification. Accordingly, we are classifying it. Okay, next is you should know how this leukemia, acute leukemias occur. So first of all, you should know there are hematopoietic stem cells. Where are these hematopoietic stem cells? They are present in the bone marrow. Then they differentiate into lymphoid progenitor and myeloid progenitor. By lymphoid progenitor, they will further differentiate into the these T lymphocytes and into B lymphocytes. So you should know first of all the first cell comes, that is hematopoietic stem cell. Then it further divides into lymphoid progenital and myeloid progenitals. For lymphoid progenital, they differentiate into lymphoids. As you know, there are B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. So they will differentiate into the T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes. B lymphocyte will, when they come into the germinal center, then they become the ultimately plasma cells. Okay, and you know what the plasma cells do? They make the antibodies for our body. Okay, and there's a T lymphocytes. They play a major role in our defense mechanism of the body. So next is the progenitor cells. Progenitor cells, as you know, these are myeloid progenitors. They will further divide into neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, monocytes, and they will also differentiate into the platelets and red blood cells. So in WBCs, as you already know, there are 4 to 5 types of cells. These are neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, and monocytes, and then platelets and red blood cells. So these are the 3. So it mainly occurs in, I have differentiated these cells according to the ALL and AML. So myeloid maturation. So these are the normal steps which are normal myeloid maturation process passes. So this occurs mainly where it occurs in the bone marrow. Bone marrows may all these forms normally these are present, but there what occurs in acute leukemia? Acute leukemia, the cells they are arrested at some immature level. First of all, we will see myeloid maturation. What are the different steps and what are the different cells? First of all, there is a myeloblast. This is the first cell which comes in a mature form, myeloblast. Then it is converted into the promyelocyte, then into myelocyte, then into metamyelocyte, then into the band form. Band form, you can see there is a nucleus is in the form of a band, and then it finally it is differentiated and it converts into the neutrophil. This is the normal cell which always comes in our peripheral blood, and this normally functions for our body. If what occurs in acute leukemias, the cells they are arrested at some immature forms, like there can be some myeloblast. It can be arrested at the level of promyelocyte, myelocyte, metamyelocyte, and band cells. But in acute leukemias, you will see the blast cells they are always more than 20%. So next I will tell you how can you differentiate between the acute and chronic leukemias. So this is acute leukemia, and this is accumulation of blasts in the bone marrow. Okay. First of all, I would like to tell you what you can see in myeloblast. The cytoplasm is in less amount, but the nucleus is large. But as the cell passes into the mature form, the nucleus it increases in size. It decreases in size, and the cytoplasm increases. So at the end, you will see there will be neutrophil, and the nucleus is in the form of different segments. So there's also marrow failure. What will be occur in marrow failure? In case of acute leukemia, there will be anemia, neutropenia, thrombocytopenia. So if there are neutropenia, then there are more chances of sepsis and infections. And in case of anemia, obviously there will be pallor and fatigue. And in case of thrombocytopenia, what will occur? There will be tendency of bleeding. So acute leukemogenesis क्या है? The acute leukemias, they are thought to develop as a result of a genetic alteration within a single stem cell in the bone marrow, which means a blockage of maturation at certain level. This reveals an abnormal regulatory mechanism and the cell is incapable for further proliferation and differentiation, but it still has the ability to divide. So successive mitotic division in the progeny of the cell, it produces a clonal population, which once it is the sufficient clonal mass has been achieved and gives rise to the clinical manifestations of the disease, obviously. And then there is two-hit model of leukemogenesis. So you will be very curious that why there is uncontrolled clonal proliferation of cells. So these are the things which are controlling the cell proliferation. Number one, there is a loss of function of transcription factors needed for differentiation. So इसमें example is AML1, ETO, and these are the transcription factors. They are needed for the differentiation, but there is loss of function of this transcription factors actually. So what we'll do, if there is a loss of function, there will be differentiation block. There will be the cells can't differentiate it into the further stage. And the second thing that is there is gain of function mutations of tyrosine kinases. These are the examples at what level these mutations occur. So what will do, it will enhance proliferation of cells. So overall these two factors, when they combine, they will be presented in the form of immature WBCs, white blood cells, and they will be arrested at some immature levels. So it will cause a acute leukemia. So these are the pics showing the development of leukemia in the bloodstream. Okay, stage one. This is, you can see there are normal cells, but in stage 2 with the symptom there will be some abnormal cells. As you can see in red color there are red blood cells, and in white you can see these are the white blood cells. So they should be normal in immature form WBCs, but these are not normal. These are in immature and they are arrested at some immature state. So in stage 3 there can be we can make some diagnoses. Then in stage 4 there will be worsening because there are all the abnormal cells and they are also suppressing the other cell lines like red blood cells and platelets, and there are also some there are no mature white blood cells. So how will you do the lab evaluation? The lab diagnosis is based on two findings: finding a significant increase in the number of immature cells in the bone marrow, including blast. Why are we using the word blast? Because the first stage in the at which the cell starts, it is always blast. Then it leads to the promyelocyte and myelocyte and metamyelocytes band, and then into mature form. So cells, they are arrested at the first stage. These are called, that's why we call it blast cells. So there will be blast, promyelocytes and promonocytes. There will be more than 20% blast is diagnostic. So when you do the bone marrow, if you find the blast cells more than 20%, it means there is acute leukemia. You will not call it a chronic leukemia. Difference between acute and chronic leukemia is that in acute leukemia, the blast cells, they are always more than 20%, while in chronic leukemias, blast cells, they are less than 20%, and the other cells at different stages of arrest and different immature cells will be also present in both these leukemia. So identification of the cell lineage of the leukemia cells, while when we do the peripheral blood, in peripheral blood what will you see? You will see anemia. It will be normocytic normochromic. Why we called it normocytic normochromic? Because the cells, they will be normal, but the cells are not producing. They are normal shape and size, but they are not, but the cell count is decreased. And second thing that we call it thrombocytopenia. Thrombocytopenia, we use a term for decreased platelet count. And the third thing, there will be variable WBC count. The degree of peripheral blood involvement determines the classification. So in leukemic phase में there will be increased WBCs due to blast, and subleukemic phase there will be blast without increased white blood cells, and in a leukemic phase there will be decreased white blood cells with no blast. So first of all we will do the AML. AML means acute AML. These are as I already told you, acute leukemias we divide it into ALL and AML. Okay, in ALL first of all we will see the AML. AML key, first of all, this is very important classification of acute myelogenous leukemia. So we will see the morphology of all the stages according to the FAB classification. So in morphology, an experienced morphologist can look at the size of the blast, the amount of cytoplasm, the nuclear chromatin pattern, the presence of nucleoli, and the presence of OR rods. They are a pink staining. What are OR rods? You should know OR rods basically. These are a pink staining splinter shapes inclusions due to a rod shaped alignment of primary granules found only in myeloproliferative processes to identify the blast cells. So in AML, the myeloblast is a large blast with a moderate amount of cytoplasm, fine lacy chromatin. These are the different features. You should know, at least you should know what are the different features of these blast cells. So these are in the form of fine lacy chromatin and prominent nucleoli. So 10 to 40% of myeloblasts, they contain OR rods. So remember this thing, OR rod, they will be always present in these. So this is a picture of myeloblasts with OR rods. Oh, where is OR rod? You can see this is a abnormal, this is a myeloblast cell as a whole, and you can see this is a nucleus of the cell in blue, and on this side there is a with granules. Granules are not very but in lighter color you can see these are not prominent at this stage. So I want to show you okay, this is this needle-like structure. As you can see, this is the OR rod. So this will be present in AML, in myeloblasts. So what occurs in ALL in contrast to the myeloblast? The lymphoblast is a small blast. When we compare the blasts of two series AML and ALL, in the lymphoblast is a small blast. Obviously, the lymphocyte, it is small as compared to the neutrophils and basophils and eosinophils. So the blast will be a small blast with scanty cytoplasm. There will be dense chromatin and indistinct nucleoli, and there will be no OR rods. So let's come to the FAB class. In an attempt to prove the reproducibility and comparability of the classification process, a group of expert hematologists. What is the abbreviation of this FAB? FAB, we use a short for French, America, and Britain. They collaborated to define a major objective criteria for the classification of acute leukemia. So the initial FAB study was based on the examination of more than 200 different cases of acute leukemia by expert morphologists. And in addition, our myeloperoxidase or Sudan black stains should be used to facilitate the recognition of these myeloblasts. So this is I have already shown you the classification of leukemia. So the FAB classification for ALL, first we will do, there is L1, L2 and L3. What are the features in L1? L1 में basically there are homogeneous population of small lymphoblasts with scanty cytoplasm and scanty nucleoli, and nucleus occasionally cleft. While at the stage of L2, heterogeneous population of large lymphoblasts with moderately abundant cytoplasm or more nucleoli. So nucleus commonly indented or cleft. At this stage, you can say the nucleus will be indented or cleft. While for in L3, what will you see? This is a homogeneous population of large lymphoblasts with prominent nucleoli and deeply basophilic and vacuolated cytoplasm. So what will be in L2? The differentiating point will be nucleus will be indented or cleft in L2, but in L3 you will see the vacuolated cytoplasm. They will be vacuoles. So this is the classification of AML. So you can see there is M0, M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, 6, and 7. So at the level of bone marrow, we find these stages on the bone marrow biopsy when we see the bone marrow appearance of the cells. So you will see at the level of M0, they are identified by ultrastructural myeloperoxidase activity RB-nucleotide, while at the level of M1, AML without maturation, we called it alternatively for this stage. M1, we call it AML without maturation. So they will be monomorphic with one or more distinct nuclei and occasionally OR rods, and at least 3% myeloperoxidase positivity will be formed. Well, when you see M2, there will be AML with maturation. M2 के level पे there is maturation of cells, so 50% or more than myeloblasts and promyelocytes, and common single OR rods will be seen. So there will be dysplastic myeloid differentiation may also be present at this level. And then at the level of M3, they will be the features. There will be dominant cell type is promyelocyte with heavy azurophilic granulation, and there will be bundle of OR rods, confirmed diagnosis. So OR rods, they will be very prominent at the level of M3, and there will be microgranular varying exist. So next, when we see reach at the level of M4, it's also called AMML. So as M2, the features are like the M2, but more than 20% pro-monocytes and monocytes will be present. So next M5 के level पे, there will be more than 80% monoblast in poorly differentiated, and more than 80% monoblast, pro-monocytes and monocytes is well differentiated. When you see that at the level of M6, there will be more than 50% bizarre and dysplastic nucleated red blood cells with multi-nucleate forms and cytoplasmic bridging के साथ. And the myeloblast they will be usually more than 30%. And when at the level of M7, we will see there will be fibrosis, heterogeneous blast population with cytoplasmic fibers, and the platelet peroxidase positive. So this is acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and we call it ALL. They may be classified on the basis of the cytological features of the lymphoblast. They are divided into, as I have already told you, they are divided into L1, L2, and L3. What occurs in L1? This is the most common form found in children. Or remember, in scenario you will find the blast in AML and in ALL both. So how will you identify the scenario? You will find that ALL, it commonly occurs in children, while the AML, it will be always in adults. Well, so in children, the most common acute leukemia, that is ALL. So it has a best prognosis. The cell size is small with fine or clump homogeneous nuclear chromatin and absent or indistinct nuclei. Though the nuclear shape is regular, occasionally clefting or indented, such cytoplasm is scanned with slight to moderate basophilia and variable vacuoles. While at the level of state L2, this is the most frequent ALL found in adults. So ALL, it can also occur in adults, but more commonly it always occurs in children. So it's acute leukemia is basically leukemia of children, but it can also occur in some adults. So in adults, it will be always found at the level at the stage L2. So the cell size is what occurs in L2. The cell size is large and heterogeneous with variable nuclear chromatin and prominent nuclei. The nucleus is irregular, clefting and indented. The cytoplasm is variable and oftenly it is moderate to abundant. The basophilia is variable and it may be deep, and vacuoles are variable. So the peripheral blood pictures that is showing ALL, acute ALL L1 stage. So you can see these are the lymphocytes that appear in peripheral blood smear, and this is the L1 stage. This is a picture of immature lymphocytes that we will see in the bone marrow. So it's a childhood acute lymphoblastic leukemia, FAB-L1. The blasts have a high nucleocytoplasmic ratio. There is lack of visible nuclei and they are relatively small. So this is a picture of ALL-L2 stage, and this is also a picture of blood, peripheral blood. And this is a picture of ALL-L2 that we see these abnormal cells in the bone marrow. So next here is the L3. What occurs in L3? This is the rarest form of ALL. The cell size is large with fine homogeneous nuclear chromatin containing prominent nuclei, and the nucleus is regular, oval to round shape, and the cytoplasm will be moderately abundant and is deeply basophilic and vacuolated. So you have to remember all the features are, at least you should know the prominent features about cytoplasm, nuclei and nucleus about ALL, L1, L2 and 3. I think this is much easy. So this is a picture of ALL showing the L3 stage. As you can see, this is a abnormal cell that came in peripheral blood, and next it came these in bone marrow. In bone marrow, you can see the cells, the cytoplasm have a large amount of vacuoles. So this is ALL L3 stage. Incident: ALL is primarily a disease of young children. So in scenario, when you will be asked about ALL, it will be always you will see a scenario of there's a child of age 2 to 5 years, but it can also occur in adults. But most probably when you are asked about ALL, the child will be 2 to 5 years. So what are the clinical findings in these patients? There will be pancytopenia. Pancytopenia, there will be expression of all the basic 3 cell lines with when these normal cell lines these are suppressed, what will be occur? There will be anemia, there will be thrombocytopenia and neutropenia. So as a result of anemia, remember there will be always fatigue, pallor, fever due to neutropenia, weight loss. There will be also history of weight loss in these patients, and there will be irritability, anorexia, infection, bleeding, and bone pain. So L1 occurs in children, L2 occurs in adults, and L3 is called Burkitt's lymphoma. So what is the prognosis of this ALL? Age, we will consider the age, WBC count and cell type. They are the most important prognostic indicators in these patients. So patients younger than 1 and greater than 13, they have a poor prognosis. So if the child is very too young, and if the age is 13 and so, the prognosis of this leukemia will be not good. So if the WBC count is less than 10 into 10 to the raised 9 per liter at presentation, so this is the second prognostic criteria. We will assess the patient according to it. If the WBC count is less than 10 at presentation, the prognosis is good. If the WBC count is more than 20%, it means there are more blast cells. Then if the WBC count will be more than 20 at presentation, the prognosis will be poor. The third thing that we will see, there will be T cell ALL. It's more common in males, has a poor prognosis than any of the B cell ALLs, which have a cure rate of 70%. So next is acute myeloid leukemia. They are also called acute granulocytic leukemia. Classification depends upon the bone marrow blast morphology, degree of cell maturation, cytochemical stains, immunophenotyping. So we divide the AML into 7 different classifications. As I have already told you, these are M1, M2, M3 and M4. Okay, the time is short. These are the myeloblasts and OR rods with OR rods. This is a M2 and M3 stage. So these are the features according as I have already told you in the table. These are the just pictures of peripheral and bone marrow. So you should remember at least the classification of these acute myeloid leukemia and the just prominent features. So how will you make the diagnosis? Next, come to the diagnosis of how can you make the diagnosis. So for diagnosis, first of all, you can see the lab and bone marrow biopsy of this patient, CBC complete blood count. There will be some immature cells. Second thing, you will do the bone marrow biopsy, and the other thing that we do cytochemistry. So all these things they will confirm the overall diagnosis in these patients. So the cytochemistry, there are different strains. We use different strains. If there is myeloperoxidase, it will be positive for AML, but it will be negative for ALL. And Sudan black, it will be positive in AML and negative in ALL, and non-specific esterase. These are different strains that we and collectively we call it cytochemistry. Okay, non-specific esterase, it will be positive in M4 and M5 in case of AML, but it will be overall negative in ALL. And PAS, we use a periodic acid shift. It will be positive in ALL, and it will be also positive in AML in M6 stage. And acid phosphatase, it will be positive in TALL, and it will be also positive in M6 stage of AML. So next thing we will immunological markers. These are used mainly for lymphocytes for determining the B cells, either it is B cell or T cell lineage. These tests they rely on antibodies made against specific surface markers. So they constitute when we would call the primary antibody, and in all indirect assays that are allowed to react with the. So you should just remember the name of this immunological test. So this is a terminal detoxidase transferase. This is a unique DNA polymerase present in stem cells and in precursor B and T cells. High levels they are found in 90% of lymphoblast leukemia. So there is a classification upon the immunological approach. This is also, it reveals the blast. They are usually CD30, CD13, 33 and TDT. Special antibody they are helpful in AML, M6 and M. So we show that M6 has glycoprotein A positive and M. You should at least know CD13 and 33. These are also asked in your exam. You should know. So there is also precursor B cells, precursor ALL or TLL. These are the different CD markers. Okay, you have to remember these things: CD19, CD22, and TDT. These are present in VLL and same. So the next thing that we will do, this is cytogenetics. Cytogenetics studies, they can now be used for diagnosis and for prognosis of hematological malignancies. So these are also used. So when you are asked for, you should at least you should know the names of these tests that we use for the diagnosis. The cytogenetics, these are the basically translocation. You have to remember these translocations. Okay, time अभी है. Okay, students, thank you.